After watching the video, I learned that unity and diversity are both very important within a classroom. Unity within a classroom involves making the students feel joined as a whole. School is its own little community because students should always feel safe and comfortable. We've learned this from really the beginning of college, that we have to learn how to build that school family. We have to build relationships with our students and make our students feel as if they are our own family. And this all ties into unity. So school really is its own little community. Building unity begins with appreciation and understanding of one another. And part of unity is truly understanding what will help others and wanting to accomplish the goal of helping them. Unity also deals a lot with respect, and it occurs when students can freely express their ideas. Diversity in the classroom. It was talked a lot more about than unity, but that doesn't mean that unity wasn't just as important, or that we can't relate diversity back to unity. So our nation is becoming even more diverse than we've seen before. And so it is very important for students to recognize that we live in a diverse society, because diversity is most apparent in public schools. We see different genders, we see different races, we see different cultures. So our students really are seeing more diversity in public schools than anywhere else. It is important for teachers to understand different cultures to be able to relate to the students. We must understand not only the different cultures based on their races, but we must be able to recognize the different holidays, the different beliefs, and be able to relate to our students through this process. Introducing students to different cultures makes each student feel valued, and this is a big part of unity also. If we can make each student understand the different cultures, we can make each student feel so valued and make them feel as if they truly are a part of our classroom family. Teachers must think carefully about what and how they teach, so that they are teaching to accommodate different cultures and learning styles. Learning styles is a big deal also, as we have hands-on learners, we have kinesthetic learners, we have visual learners. There's so many different learning styles that the teachers must accommodate to throughout different lessons, so that each student truly is learning. So this is a big deal in diversity also. It is also important to remember that lots of different cultures can go into the making of one student. We may have a student from Mexico that still celebrates all of those holidays, and that still has those same beliefs, but also has conformed to the lifestyle of being in America and celebrates those holidays and beliefs also. So teachers should want to make the students understand that the world is far more diverse than just the neighborhood surrounding them. We've gotten so comfortable with just the people surrounding us in our little school or our little neighborhoods, but we must remember that as as diversity grows, that it's important to make our students realize that the whole nation is diverse, that we will have to deal with different diversities at some point in our life outside of the classroom. So it's very important that we help our students understand the world as a whole is diverse. And stereotyping is a natural skill in your mind that is common in history, and this is a very negative approach. We have students that stereotype other students by the clothes that they wear, the languages that they speak, the classes that they take. If we have students that are remedial up against the gifted students, those gifted students will stereotype those remedial students very badly. And so we have to make sure that we do not stereotype, and that we make sure that our students understand that it's important to just truly understand the different cultures, so that they will not stereotype. Why are these scenarios valid for you within the area you are hoping to teach? I must be able to truly understand the diversity of my classroom to be able to create a classroom family. And I must also be able to help introduce my students to the different cultures and diversity around the world for them to gain respect for one another. What are the intermittent speakers bringing out in the personal reflections that apply to teaching through a lens of cultural responsiveness. The speakers recall that introducing the students to different cultures allowed them to gain knowledge and want to learn more. The speakers let it be known that diversity may just come in the form of different learning types, such as gifted, remedial, average, etc. So we must know as a teacher how to teach to these different learning types. We must be able to take a lesson and teach it to the gifted students, but also be able to make this lesson be understood to the remedial student or to that average student. So it's very hard to learn how to balance between the gifted, remedial, and average student, but we must be able to do this. The speaker said that it is important to teach in diverse ways because students learn in different ways. As I mentioned earlier, we have kinesthetic learners, we have visual learners, we have hands-on learners. So we must be able to conform to all of these different learning styles. And we can't do this in one lesson. We're not going to be able to take a lesson and make it accommodate to each learning style, but we can take several lessons and touch on the different learning styles at some point to help each student truly understand. Building a unity within your classroom opens up a door for success because the students are not scared of failure. And this is huge within a classroom. You want your students to always feel safe, and you want them to want to answer questions, and you want them to know that it's okay to fail because they're going to fail. So building that unity within your classroom should truly help them feel successful and help them build the relationships so that even when they fail, it's okay. That failure opens up a door to try again and be successful. Lastly, we're going to talk about how the video teaches me about the diversity regarding language and disabilities. It introduces different languages, and we see this so that our students are familiar with and can relate to cultural differences. So we don't see a lot of different languages in my community. We have a few Hispanic, but mostly we have white and black, so we all speak the same language. But we do see students with disabilities, and we need to make the accommodations and know that they need accommodations such as graphic visuals or real-life scenarios to help them better understand. So even though we do not see a bunch of language differences, we do see different disabilities, and this is still a huge part of diversity. We also see that disabilities are very common, and as a future teacher, it's my job to do the very best to find ways to help those students fully understand the topic. So as my reflection from watching this video and creating my own, I've learned how to respect the different cultures. I've learned that it's important for me to respect the different cultures and diversity and build that unity within my classroom so that I can teach each student to truly respect the different cultures, the different languages, and just the diversity of a whole. And it's important to build that unity and make each student feel important and successful at all times.